Good morning, everybody. This is Jay Bolton. I hope that this presentation is going to be worthy of your time this morning, and I appreciate you all being here. So ArcaPlus, application future proofing. Okay, Arca. It's a chest for valuables, and in our case, the valuables are the applications themselves. We've all seen technology change. Okay, and we've all seen our customers have to go and recreate all their applications every time technology changes, or they have some sort of process that they go through a review of the application. They just rip it apart and change it around, and the application, the way it used to work, can't work the same way with the new platform. And we've seen some of our customers do this 3-4 times, and we've also seen customers where they pay high maintenance costs for old, outdated software, and they're stuck on it because it's going to cost them too much to redo their applications. So we thought that was silly. We said, how about you create it once, you keep it disassociated from the platform it runs on and the technology that drives it, and you keep the application in one spot. But we wanted to get rid of the runtime. So this is kind of what we came up with. Okay. These are some of the things that it does. I don't have to go through them. You guys can see the screen. I'll give you a second to take a peek at this. A lot of big stuff there, right? You say, well, geez, is it just marketing stuff? And the answer is no, it's not. What we've created is, and we'll get into this a little bit more, but basically what we've created is two things with Arca at the moment. One is a conversion component that takes old technology, and we create adapters that plug into the core of our software and convert it to more open standards technology. It could be that you have an old, maybe it's an old Avaya app that you want to create and make it run on IR, or some of the newer stuff that Avaya has. It could be eVIP, Edify stuff that you want to run on Interaction Composer and staying in the same company, or it could be you have something that wants to go to a different type of platform, or maybe they want to go hosted and the technology they have is all on-prem, or whatever it is, we create adapters for that, and we have started with certain ones, and it was based on what we needed for our customers at that moment. So Arca itself is sort of vendor neutral and independent. And if we see that there's a need, if we see that customers want an adapter that we don't have, we'll go back out and create that. And that goes both from coming into the Arca tool and going out to something else. As I just mentioned, the customers do not want to pay for high redevelopment costs, and they want to get off the old technology and move to something else, but they feel like they're stuck. We want to unstick them. Commoditization of the IVR industry is true. I mean, we've seen it. What used to be a proprietary type, niche market now has become more open with the advent of VXML. Salt didn't really make it, but VXML did, and so we've seen this. Okay, we've seen that open standards are actually occurring in this industry. The other thing to mention is that while Arca is starting with the IVR industry, that's not where it's going to end up. There's a lot of other things, and we'll get into that about what's the future of Arca. So for now, you can convert old applications to new technology, and you can also design new applications on Arca. And those are the two ways of getting something into the Arca suite of product. The design element came sort of as a revelation that being services guys at IVS, we decided that when you do a design document, a customer does this huge Visio diagram, and they hand it to us, and they say, what's it going to take for you guys to go ahead and create this as a project and give us a statement of work? I thought, and the rest of us thought, it was a duplication of effort. So what we did is we made the design tool very Visio-like, and we said, instead of using Visio, use the design tool. Download it. It's free. Okay, just lay out the flow with the design tool. And in the end, what the goal is to save the customer 80% of the time and 50% of the cost of development. because behind each of the elements in our design tool, there's code, okay? And it actually goes into the Arca suite, and then we have an adapter at the tail end to go to whatever technology the customer wants to go to. Now this is sort of solidifying what I had already said. We didn't want our customers to have to keep redeveloping applications and have to incur the cost there. We just thought it was silly. So this is sort of a tagline for Arca is design equals dev. In fact, at the Voxeo summit that we came back from last week, was it last week? Seemed like a long time ago, but it was last week. We had T-shirts made up that says design equals dev, and we think that that's a huge statement to make. We think that it makes a lot of sense. It has to make sense for the customer first, for our partner second, and for us last. And so we think that we found a way to present Arca that it makes sense for everybody, so it actually saves everybody time and energy and money, everybody, and we'll get into that in a moment. So we want to. The other goal of Arca is to keep applications and code in sync with the design document itself. So we have a way that once the application's exported to some technology, we have a way to import it back into Arca. And the reason why we did this again is because we didn't want to have to charge licensing fees and have a runtime and all that. And this will make more sense when we get into how do we position this in an actual sale and in an actual engagement. This is basically how it goes. Everything that you guys see in orange is in the Eclipse framework environment. As you can notice, the top green thing is sort of an import from legacy platforms. We actually right now have an adapter to import Edify code. A lot of our customers at Integrated Voice Solutions are Edify customers, and that's really because we came from Edify, right? Most of us were services people that worked at Edify for many years, and then when the company did its funny maneuvers over the years, either we got laid off or we left to go find another career or other employment. And but we maintained a very heavy base of Edify customers. In fact, for those of you on the call, I'm going to go on a limb and say there's no group worldwide that has as much Edify experience as Integrated Voice Solutions. And I'd be hard-pressed if anybody could top that. So the other thing that you'll see is once it goes into the design state, it performs an Arca project. The project actually goes out to our hosting function. So the design tool itself is free. Okay. When you actually want to do something with it, when you want to move it to another platform, or when you want to push it up and get a statement of work, it's automated too. So if you have an Edify application, you can actually upload it and you'll get a statement of work back down. And what that statement of work is it's a real statement of work. It says this is how long it will take Integrated Voice Solutions to redevelop all the applications from scratch. And then it says because you've either utilized the adapter from an old platform like Edify, or if you've designed it newly, this is what it's going to cost you because you've done it that way. And again, the goal is to chop that in half. Okay, so you say, well, how do we sell it? There's no licensing fees. There's none of this. What we decided we were going to do is cut it in half. We sell it based on how much money we save the customer. What's it cost? How much money do we save you? That's basically it. And as the tool progresses, our goal is to automate more and more of the functionality and provide more and more cost savings to the customer when they want to move to some other platform or create a new application. Right. One more thing about the statement of work in the ROI tool when you upload that to ArcaPlus.com is, a lot of customers would come in and say, well, gee, we got a quote for this. How come you're cheaper? Or how come you're more expensive? Or how come this is going to take you less time or more time? And it was always hard because when you're looking at a Visio, a lot of the things are very subjective. and maybe you have a whiz-bang developer, and maybe the other vendor doesn't, you know, or vice versa, right? So there's a lot of how can you prove to the customer that this is a legitimate statement of work and this is real actual stuff without worrying about having to go in after a project change request in the middle of something or what. And what we've done is we came up with this statement of work generation tool. And what it looks at is function points in the design flow. And we give a balance to that. We give actual hours to each step in that design document, and database calls, and you know, if it's a speech project and multiple languages, all this stuff is filtered through the statement of work generation tool, and it gives an actual statement of work that an integrated voice solution that someone else could take to their customer. And the goal of that is you can back it up. We've done tests, okay? We've done, say, okay, use the tool and have actually one of the best guys at Integrated Voice Solutions go in and figure out what it would take to do the app, and they're right there. They're right there within, I don't know, 3-4%. Okay, so we think that that's awesome because people can actually see what it's going to take and why.